We're honored to have from South Korea former Assemblyman Min, who was also the news anchor for the biggest Korean media outlet, KBS, for over 20 years. He is intelligent, talented, brave. He was the first to really step up and step out in regards to what is going on in regards to election fraud in South Korea, and he experienced it himself. And so we are glad to welcome Assemblyman Min to come and share with us.
Thank you, Ambassador Tan, for kind introduction. Good afternoon. My name is Kyung-wook Min. I was one of the very first people to say loud and clear that South Korea's 2020 general election was rigged. I worked for 23 years at KBS, Korea's largest broadcaster. 3 of those years I spent right here in Washington as a foreign correspondent. As a trained reporter, I saw what others missed: statistical evidence that was too clear to ignore. That evidence turned me into a fighter. For 5 years, I've led a movement traveling between Korea and the US to expose the truth and defend democracy. In 2020, I was a candidate for the 21st Korean general election. I wasn't just any candidate. I had served as a presidential spokesperson, a member of parliament, and the anchor of Korea's primetime news. I was confident I would win, but I lost. Why? Because the early vote and the election day vote didn't match. They violated the law of large numbers, a basic rule in statistics that ensures predictable results in big samples. These patterns didn't stop in 2020. They continued into the most recent presidential election. The numbers do not lie. What surprises me the most is how little outrage we've seen from the Korean people, a people known for intelligence, talent, and courage. Have we grown numb? Have we been conditioned to believe this is the new normal? But there is no new normal in math. There is only the truth. As you heard earlier, our last presidential election was also fraudulent. It was manipulated. Just like President Trump's victory was stolen 4 years ago, so was ours. And just like Americans fought to take it back, we are fighting too. But there's one key difference. In Korea, the rightful winner, Mr. Kim Moon-soo, conceded far too quickly. He gave up even before the counting was done. Maybe he couldn't believe it had been stolen. I've paid a heavy price for speaking up. The political left sued me. The media mocked me, called me crazy, called me a conspiracy theorist. Even fellow conservatives began to avoid me. Lifelong friends turned their backs. Only my family stayed with me, and they suffered for it too. Mr. Kim Moon-soo saw what I went through. Maybe that's why he hesitates to join us, and I understand that. But I still urge him, reconsider. Election fraud is a crime. It destroys democracy. Accepting it encourages more of it. This is not just for just your fight, Mr. Kim. It's the people's fight. It's about every citizen's right to vote. So please, withdraw your concession and join us. In 2020, I flew to Washington to speak the truth. At that time, I stood alone. My words felt like a cry in the wilderness, but I still spoke. I even warned America, be aware or be next. And I was right. It took President Trump 4 years, but he's back. Today, I returned to Washington, but I'm not alone. I stand with President Trump, President Yoon Suk-yeol of Korea, and former Prime Minister Hwang Kyo-ahn. I stand with Ambassador Morse Tan, Colonel John Mills, Colonel Grant Newsham, and Professor Bradley Thayer. History will remember them. In Korea, many patriots are fighting with me. Their courage brought us here, and I'm especially moved by the young people in their 20s and 30s who are now standing up. They give me hope. But we must not forget those we lost. Over the last 5 years, 5 brave souls gave their lives in this fight. Kim Il-du, Kim Hwang-chan, Kim Jae-hong, Pastor Kim Tae-kwon, and Elder Kwon Tae-hun. 2 died from illness while leading the movement. 1 died in a suspicious car crash. 2 set themselves on fire after exposing the truth. Let us never forget them. We are here because of them. Now, I speak directly to President Trump. America has spent hundreds of billions of dollars in Ukraine. But is Korea less important? Do we need bullets and bombs to recognize that a war is happening? China has taken control of Korea's government without firing a single shot. Can't we see this? President Lee Jae-myung didn't win by chance. This was a long strategy by the global communist movement. And now, as a puppet of Beijing, he will sell out Korean sovereignty. 4 days ago, on June 25th, was the 75th anniversary of the Korean War. 36,000 Americans died to protect Korea's freedom. That freedom is now slipping away. President Trump, you know what election fraud looks like. Now it's happening to your allies. Please act, and act soon. And to Congress, don't see this as just a Korean problem. This is a global crisis. Hold hearings. Investigate the Chinese influence that threatens both of our nations. 5 years ago, I received a calling from God to expose this fraud. That calling set me into this long, hard fight, and I've never turned back. Under God's providence, may every effort to uncover the truth be blessed. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Assemblyman Min.